All right, we are live. Hey everyone. So this is going to be our 2020 book awards. We did this last year on Hannah's channel and we really liked it. So we decided that we're going to continue doing it as a live show versus each individually filming it and posting it.
Yeah, so get some tea or whatever your poison is, then we're gonna dish about some books.
Yeah, I'm super excited to. So mine's really, I mean, this has not been a good reading year for me. I think I read like 12 books.
Before we,
So,
first of all, it's 2020. Second of all, you had a baby, like
yeah,
literally.
that's true. That's
Hello,
true.
that took up a lot. I just squeaked in my Goodreads goal for this year.
50, right?
Yeah, I got 51 books this year.
Nice.
I don't know how. Like before we get into it, like I'm watching some other people's
With
wrap
like the
ups, and I'm like,
fires and
oh yeah.
everything.
But like I was watching some wrap ups, and like books in Lala, like she read like 170 some books this year, and I was like,
Some people were productive during quarantine.
like I did not have the motivation.
I will say Netflix, I've pretty much watched everything. So,
That's going great.
oh yeah, it's fantastic. Um, but okay, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
And I did read some good books this year.
Yeah, I did too, actually. I really did. Honestly, this is the fastest, like, picking my books for the or for the awards. It's the quickest that it's taken me because like I knew exactly, oh, this one's this book, this book, this book.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So the first one is the best book of 2020. I feel like we might have the same answer for this one.
Wait, it says best standalone, not best book, best standalone.
Okay, so we should do best standalone and best book because I was looking through the list and we don't actually have the best book, but we have to
Oh
have a best book.
yeah, I couldn't even pick one best standalone, and now you're telling me this.
Well, okay, do you think what was your favorite? I only have one book that I gave a 5 out of 5 stars, so it was pretty easy for me.
ah,
What was your best standalone? You want to do that one first?
yeah.
Okay, let's do that one first.
Wait, what's your best standalone?
Boyfriend Material.
And I didn't read that book this year.
It's so cute. Oh,
I bought that book and I was like, you should get this because this looks
oh
great. And
my
then you
god!
read
And
it before me.
I like binged it in like 2 days. It was my Dewey's readathon for like April or something. No, August. It was the reverse readathon in like August, and like I read it in that 24 hours. So good.
Is it better than Red, White, and Royal Blue?
No, but it is like right there. It is like right there.
Can I
It's
just say, I'm so excited for next year, like for 2021, because I feel like there's so many good books coming out in 2021 that I
yeah.
feel like next live show or next awards is going to be so much harder to decide.
Yeah, authors have been really busy during quarantine, so they better get these books out.
Yes, right?
No, but seriously, Hannah, you need to read this one. It is so good. It is like honestly, it's hard to like I think Red, White, and Royal Blue will always be my all-time favorite book. So it's really hard for this one to beat it, but it's like oh, it is just right there. So essentially, yeah, so good. So good. Guys, if you want a like male romance, very similar to Red, White, and Royal Blue, this is adult, by the way, adult, not YA. Um, so they're
So this
next,
is,
yeah. So I mean, there's language,
sorry.
sex, stuff like that. Yeah.
So that's your favorite standalone, but that's not your favorite single, like overall favorite. And you said like ours is probably the same, so it can't be that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess favorite. I guess. Well, first book in a series. Oh, so it's really hard to say. Okay, I'm gonna have this be my favorite book that I've read this year.
Okay.
It's also my favorite standalone. I could pick a different standalone. I could pick another standalone.
You could do two,
Okay.
like that double up. So I have a few more options because I did get my reading goal, which was 51. I got through like a lot of poetry this year though, so I wasn't reading
Aw.
as many books. But so my favorite, my best standalone, I couldn't choose between, so I have two ones, and they were both book club picks that we chose.
Uh-huh.
So what do? You know which ones I'm going to pull up?
For your standalone? Okay, see, I wasn't sure. Is this a standalone? Okay, so I thought this was a book at first in a series. I thought it was a series.
Is it?
I have no idea. Okay, so I am amending. So this is going to be my favorite standalone, and this is going to be my favorite book of 2020. Okay.
Okay. So this one was my like one of that my favorite
Yeah.
one of my best standalones. Really good, incredible book about like the deal with the devil trope, but
Yeah.
done really well. It's really has a lot of good notes on how hard it is to be a woman, especially in uh, historical times.
Mhm.
And yeah, this one was really good.
Yeah.
Interesting take on things.
Yeah, and it does really well with like going back and forth between um
Different
like
perspectives.
yeah, and then like present day and past. It does
Yeah,
a really
and
good job.
it definitely is like a thought provoking book to read.
Yeah, and it's also very different. I haven't read anything like this. And not to mention like gorgeous cover for just, it being very simple and plain. It's very very pretty.
And then my other one that I picked that is also our book club pick is A Very Large Expanse of Sea. I
Oh yeah.
adored
I
this.
Yeah, that one was really good too.
This is definitely more, I think, emotionally
Yeah.
charged, um, and not necessarily romance, but just emotionally charged.
Yeah.
Definitely is a story that needs to be told. It is its own voice as author, and this was incredible about a girl and her experiences living in America after 9/11 who is Muslim. And
Yeah.
it was stunning, and I can't rave about this woman
Yeah.
enough. And I couldn't choose between the two of them. Like,
Yeah, I agree. That one's really, really good. I forgot about it because I listened to the audiobook. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I listened to the audiobook too, but it's like, it's just
actually.
so many good moments and poignant themes were the way that they were phrased. And that will stick with you. Like,
Mhm.
both of them
Yeah.
had such poignant, I don't know how to phrase it, but like ideas being
Yeah.
passed here
It was
being
yeah,
like taken
very important. Very, and we read it in September
yeah,
with 9/11. So I feel like that
added to
ha-
it.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so the next one is the worst. Is that what you have next on your list?
yeah, least
Worst,
favorite read. Yeah,
least favorite read. Yeah.
you want to go first?
I actually don't have this one with me, but it was by the book.
Oh, that's your least favorite read. Honestly, that's like a forgettable one, so I
That's
understand.
why it was just like I can't even tell you what it was about. I just remember not really liking it.
Yeah,
Do you have it?
yeah,
Yeah. I can't even tell you who it was by. Okay, by the book. Who was it
Amanda
by?
Zellin. Amanda Zellin.
Okay. Yeah, I really like that's why it was just like so forgetful and like not memorable. And when I'm like going through my Goodreads, I was like, oh, I can't even tell you who the main character was. I do remember like it being a little bit like I don't know. She was very
It was
annoying.
Yeah, it was the clique of girls that she became friends with, and they were spotting the literary tropes in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Maybe
So
it's just because of my age now. Like that one is very, very geared towards a
yeah,
younger audience.
yeah, it's a younger
Absolutely.
spectrum of YA.
Yes, absolutely. So I just don't think it was for uh us in our late 20s, early 30s.
Yes, my least favorite. For once, I like feel like I don't know your answer to these, so I'm like finding out with the rest of people watching.
Yeah.
Um, my least favorite was the Majora.
Oh, and it's so funny because you said you probably wouldn't have liked it, but you had to read it.
So I completely forgot about this book until I went back through and looked at all of the books
Yeah.
in 2020, and it's actually on like my to be get rid of pile. So it's
Oh
like
my
up
gosh.
on my shelves. And so I was like looking for it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's because I didn't want it on my shelves.
Ah, that's so funny.
Um, the whole thing was not. It was again, it's forgettable. It was an essentially a copy and paste of her last book to
Oh
move
no.
forward, and I just was like, this felt like this was definitely the year of putting out books that didn't need, and also like copy and paste of people's work. Like Suzanne Collins put out another um, Hunger Games book, like copying off of her original work, like trying to build a
Oh.
series. We got the Twilight book this year. We got this. Like all of these
Okay.
authors
Well,
are trying to make
Midnight.
a comeback.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Okay. Although Midnight Sun, I still stand by. I really liked it. um,
Yeah,
but
it was definitely like these are
yeah,
not new things.
yeah. Agreed. But like Midnight Sun is different because it's like the same story in a different perspective. It wasn't like
Still,
it's not
like
like a spin-off like trying to I guess you're right.
like
Either way, okay.
you've already done the legwork, and now you're trying to cash in on the paper.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay. Well, there's a lot of new scenes though in Midnight Sun.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll
All of
get to
those
that.
books,
I have it in here, so we'll get to it.
all of those seemed like cash grabbing books to me. Like they are not new inspired writing. And it's like
Yeah.
I need to put this out before I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So, I guess what's next?
I have shortest read.
Yes. Yes. You want to go first?
My shortest read is Giant Days.
Oh, yeah.
This was 112 pages. I
Nice.
adored these books that I always called them my comfort graphic novels. If you are
Aw.
looking for a good graphic novel that needs to like just like be self care, check these
Uh-huh.
out. They're precious and they've got such a good cast of characters that are all very different and they keep you entertained. It's nothing earth shattering because it is a like contemporary, but it's really good and I recommend it.
Aw.
What's your shortest read?
So I didn't read any graphic novels this year, I don't think. So my shortest read is actually The Gravity of Us. And I really, really enjoyed this one. So this one's 300 pages, which is pretty short. So I quite enjoyed this one. And I just liked the podcasts and I liked the mixed media, like the interviews he does. I really, really, really enjoyed this one.
That one feels a bit like I remember liking that one and I remember the space elements of it,
Uh huh.
but I definitely like don't think I'm gonna remember that in a few years.
Interesting. Yeah, no, actually, that one stuck with me. I really liked it.
Your longest read, which is probably the same as mine,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This
and
hunker. Arr.
coming in at 803 according to Goodreads.
Yeah.
Not the edition that I chose anyway.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It has. Gosh, the pages are so thin too. Yep. Yep. 803 pages.
Big chunky thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually keep this
It's
one
shorter.
up for the next one. What?
It could have been shorter.
Oh my god. Which is why I'm keeping it up for the next because that is the most disappointing read, and mine was Crescent City.
So it's a disappointing ending. Do you think it's the most disappointing ending?
Oh, oops, I misread that. I thought it was like your most disappointing book. Yeah, I mean the whole thing was disappointing. So the ending just I don't know. It wasn't what I was expecting. Like not in an 800-page book. Like I don't know. I just
There's a lot of
uh,
not a lot of payoff.
Just like Sarah J. Maas, this just was not hers.
And
I
we
just
were kind of talking about that in our live show for our most recent pick of trying not to compare your authors to previous works, but it's hard not to once you've seen the excellence that they do.
yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, she's written like one, two, three, four, like how many books? And it was just like, mm, mm. I mean, I appreciate her trying to do something different, but like it wasn't really that different because she like did fantasy. Like her other books are high fantasy, and this is high fantasy. So it's like I don't know. I really, whatever.
So my most disappointing ending, and honestly, I forgot that I read this year. I went back and was like, oh wow, that was this year. This was a Barnes and Noble book club, and I used to run Barnes and Noble book club before COVID happened, where we could actually meet in person. This was one of them. I think it was just like February's pick,
Mm-hmm.
and this was Reverie,
Reverie.
and I was not a fan, y'all. I rated this a 2 out of 5 stars. It was extremely confusing because it was all like they had, and not just disappointing ending, but disappointing the whole thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was Easter eggs hidden in there that weren't fully explained. There was the whole different like time spans of it being different, not explaining things were not well fleshed out, and he tried to tackle too many ideas and jam it into a book. And so it
Mm-hmm.
really fell flat for me. So that is definitely my most disappointing ending.
Mm-hmm.
So next up we have cliffhanger that broke me the most.
Um, you go first.
This one I don't actually have that.
Me neither. Yeah,
I didn't have anything that was like
like
cliff.
earth shattering. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Because like I was quite happy with everything. So yeah, I don't have anything that was like, oh my gosh.
that like kept you going.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at like everything that I've read on here, and I would say because I read Children of Blood and Bone,
I
um,
was thinking of that, Children of Blood and Bone, actually.
that would be my closest.
Yeah. It's funny because yeah, I took that one out for that. So I would go with Children of Blood and Bone.
Okay,
Yeah, even though like Children of Virtue and Vengeance was not
really disappointing too.
really disappointing, but I think this one was pretty. I'd say it was. I liked the ending. I was really excited for Virtue and Vengeance.
Yes, definitely.
Um. Okay, so favorite new series.
I
Oh,
have
I
two.
don't have it. I don't have it. I have one. I get it. You'll recognize it. Oh,
Used to.
Kingdom of the Wicked.
You're counting that for 2020?
Yeah, because I mean, I started it in like December-ish.
Fair.
So,
I'm fully adding that to the 2021 books.
oh, are you? I'm doing both. I'm cheating.
Um,
Because I think that's like the only new series, honestly. Yeah.
so I have two different series that I started. Both of them are romance books. They are like so they're sister series within them, so they're sister books. But they're
Yeah.
definitely the series that I'm like actively looking forward to reading the next ones that I haven't read yet. So it's actually this series that I got for Gabby.
Fix
So
her up.
the first book is Fix Her Up, and I rated that one a 3, but I really enjoyed the second one, and I ended up giving that one a 4. And I'm excited for the third book in this one because it stars very feisty characters, and they already like thicker in book 2, so I'm like really looking forward to getting to that third one.
I need to read those.
Yeah, and then this one I just started in December, and I've already blown through both books in December. in the series, and I'm waiting for the new one to come out. I think in February, and it is um, this one that is like the tourist attraction is the first one, and
I need to read that. That
the
looks like
second
something I'd like.
the second one is Mistletoe and Mr. Right.
Oh, that's probably really cute.
But so those one takes place in Alaska, so we get to see the like beautiful scenery described. We get to see like the tourist how like the economy and how that's
Mhm.
all affected by it, and we get to see um, all the tourists and how they act differently than the locals. We like the moose in Alaska play a big part in this series too.
Mhm.
It's real cute. It's like the romances are adorable. I love the main characters. I like that the females are not the ones that are they're not the locals. It's all the men that are the locals so far in these books.
Oh, that's
So I
awesome.
like it still takes place from the women's point of view, but it's definitely like they're the anchor of the story is the
I
men
like
who
that.
know each other. So I
That's
thought that was
awesome.
interesting.
I like that.
But I listened to those two on audiobook and I really enjoyed that.
Mhm.
And then of course I already told you like the third one for the Fix Her Up series.
Nice.
That one I'm looking forward to as well too.
Nice. Um so for the next two I didn't read any comics, so I don't have any favorite comic or favorite art.
And mine is the exact same for both of those, which is Giant Days.
Oh, awesome.
I will say that I did start a book, but I didn't finish the comic in
Mhm.
this year, so I'm gonna have to reread it. But that was Harleen, which was fantastic art style by far.
Mhm.
Um, but I didn't finish it, but I definitely had
Mm.
started it. So I don't like fully count it, but I do recommend it if you're looking for really excellent art style. This
Oh, that looks awesome.
yeah, and
That
it's
looks awesome.
by oh god, I'm gonna butcher it. It's Stjepan. It's Stepan Sejic. They're very well known. If you know about them, you know about them. But
Yeah.
yeah, the art is incredible on that, and the way that they use just like shadows in there and things
Mhm.
like that to tell the story was really incredible. I didn't finish it. I'm gonna reread it this year and get that done. But it was
Nice.
all the little bit that I did read, and it's got over 4,000 ratings, and it's sitting at a 4.52. So
Nice.
yeah. But for my official answer is Giant Days for favorite comic of the year, of course, and favorite comic art of the year,
Nice.
said Red. Yeah. So next up we have the most bizarre read.
So I'm going with the actually I got it from you. It's the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. That was such a strange book with apparently it's horror,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I thought it was a comedy and a satire and it was very very strange.
So Grady Hendrix is known for their kind of like satirical horror. Like
Yeah.
that's what they do. But they're definitely it's so interesting because like did you think it was scary?
No, not at all.
But like Allie, the hardback hoarder, she was like, I was not prepared for how scary this book was. And I was
I,
surprised how many people think it is scary because I was like, oh,
maybe
I
I'm not as
for sure didn't think it was scary.
no, I didn't either. I thought it was like satirical the entire time. Like there were some scenes where I was like, ugh, like it was more bizarre and weird, and I thought it was just making fun. Like I saw more of it as a satire than I did a horror.
I would say like there definitely is some points in there that's like cringing. Like there's a particular scene in the house with
Yeah.
Rex that like
Yes. That's yeah.
got to me. But like I didn't think it was scary. It was more like torture.
Grr. Yeah.
Yeah, more like gory and
Yeah. Yeah.
not.
Well, a
But
little bit.
yeah,
But I feel like if you can read like Stalking Jack the Ripper or anything like that, I didn't think it was worse than that, honestly.
but so that one is your most bizarre. My
Mhm.
most bizarre one is actually a nonfiction book,
Hmm.
and it is Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson.
Oh, I remember you talking about this early in the year.
This was such a weird book. I recommend it for an audiobook because
But it's like a self-help book kind of, right?
it's a self-help book, but she's just such a strange person that made it weird. Like
It's just
there's
like
so many different tangents. Like her shtick is that she like is really into taxidermy, so like yeah, that's already weird. It's like she has a thing for taxidermy, like a big thing for weird taxidermy, and then she's just weird and like that's the tip of the iceberg.
uh-huh.
And it just goes off on so many different like side tangents and side tangents and like different trains of thought in this book, and it's
Mhm.
very disjointed, but like it's a wild ride. If
Yeah.
you're looking for something that's just like not plot based, that you have to think too hard about, like pick this one up. It's entertaining at the least.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Best audiobook. I actually listened to a lot of audiobooks this year.
Yeah, this year was like all audiobooks. I feel like for me,
Me too.
most of them.
Me
Um,
too.
I feel like every year I have this like this author in my audiobook space
Mhm.
because I'm obsessed with her audiobooks. And that is Elizabeth Acevedo, and I
Mm.
chose The Poet X. And I vividly remember setting up the apartment and listening to this, and it's all in verse. I also listened to Clap When You Land, which is her newest book. If you have an option, if you have her at your library, pick it up because it is absolutely incredible the way that they do the narrations, and it's just it's very lyrical. It's very stunning to listen to. This particular one is done all in verse because it's about a poet slash spoken word artist, and so it's
Mm.
delivered kind of similar in that same setting, and it's all about being a person of color and how you are perceived by society, and also how like your body is not always your body because you're like the younger girls are already hypersexualized because they have
Mm.
things like that. It's extremely good, and I vividly remember listening to this around the house during the riots, like when the riots were happening,
Oh
and
gosh.
it was just like so impactful. I highly recommend Elizabeth Acevedo. I cannot tote about her books enough. She will forever be a auto pickup author.
Mhm.
Um, just I recommend doing the audiobooks. Like her books in general are beautiful. Like this is still
Mhm. With Fire on High.
yes, stunning, and like her books are just a work of art in general. Like
Mhm.
it's just stunning to own. But I highly recommend audiobooks if you have the option.
Yeah. So I went with A Very Large Expanse of Sea, actually, for that one because I felt like it was so a lot of times when you're like listening to audiobooks, sometimes if it's like fantasy, I prefer to read it because like if I'm listening to it, I get sidetracked and you have to really pay attention. But for some reason with A Very Large Expanse of Sea, I felt like it was more impactful because she was telling me her story kind of thing. So I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. It felt I don't know, it felt more powerful listening to it than like sitting down and reading. Because when you're reading, you're like the characters' voices and everything is like in your head, but like listening to it with like her accent and just everything, it felt more powerful.
And it felt more like I can imagine like when I same with Elizabeth Acevedo, like you can feel the diversity in it. You can
Mm-hmm.
feel um I don't know how to phrase it, but like when I'm reading something, I don't really think about race or
Mm-hmm.
like I guess I don't really like picture it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you listen to those things, like it makes a more vivid image of
Agreed.
diversity.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Okay, favorite cast of characters.
what's yours?
Okay, so just bear with me. I went with Midnight Sun. And that is just bear with me. And that is just because in this one we got to see so much more of Emmett and Jasper and characters that we didn't really get to see very much in um, the Twilight Saga. And I just felt like I just was like, oh my god, I love Emmett. Like he is now my new favorite character in this series, and I loved it. So also, you got to get more of like Rosalie and how much of a like basic brat she is and everything. But yeah, I really liked it. I liked getting more of those characters that we just don't see as much in Bella's perspective. And
Okay,
I feel like it just I don't know. I loved just Emmett and Jasper.
I suppose like without picking rereads, that would probably be my favorite because I didn't have an answer for this one.
Okay.
Um, without
And
doubling up, I would also say
yeah.
like my tourist attraction group in that romance,
Mhm.
they got really good cast of characters
Yeah.
and very like fleshed out that they've got different personalities throughout the town, and like
Yeah.
that's what the books do is like flesh out those characters. But I
Yeah.
would say that's a good answer for Midnight Sun. Is like we did get to see a lot of different sides to those.
Yeah. And yeah. So that's why I liked it. Yep.
Why do I want to reread Midnight Sun now?
All right. So next is books a book that you didn't get a chance to read.
That is so many books, honestly. But I didn't get to this one. I did a major procrastination because this is the final volume in
Oh
2020.
no. So you're really like, oh, yeah.
I just don't like. I was like the back of it, like they're crying, and I'm like, I
Oh,
cannot handle this right now. Like you are my comfort read, and this cannot end in 2020. So like,
yeah.
I picked it up as soon as it released, but I just have been like sitting on my bedside table, being like, I can't like say goodbye yet.
I know. I totally get it.
It's
So
gonna happen this year though. Like I'm gonna finish it, but I need leave comments down below or tag me on Twitter or something of a new graphic novel obsession that I need to get into because I need something to replace this.
I'm pulling up the my book. So mine is the fourth book in the Diviners series, and that is King of Crows by Libba Bray. This book is like close to 600 pages, and I just it came out in February, and I just haven't. I've listened to all of them on audiobook, and so I just need to get that one on audiobook and listen to it because I listened to all three, and it was just amazing, and I haven't gotten a chance to read that one, but I'm really shocked that I didn't because I was very on top of like the second and the third when they had just gotten released. So yeah, I didn't. It's just a chunker.
I know, and I picked up that like I haven't started it, but I bought that first book,
The
first audio
Diviners,
review. Yeah,
it's
got the
so good. It's so good.
well, 2021 will definitely be a better year, knock
Uh
on
huh.
wood, for reading, and already has off to a great start so far.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Uh,
most like looking forward to, I think we
mm-hmm.
both have the same book.
Yeah. A Court of Silver and Flames.
Yes, yeah, that's oh man, that's gonna be so.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Um,
And oh, does that outweigh the new Keys and Quested book for you?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
we've got
Yeah.
so many good books on the
I
docket.
know. I'm so excited. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to probably cut this short. The baby keeps
Nope,
crying.
that's totally
But
fine.
we can finish. We just have the two more. So, the best relationship.
That one. Oh, so I did. So this is relationship or friendship, and I
Yeah.
actually decided to go with Beach Read for January and Shadi, the best friend
Ah,
relationship in here. I really like their dynamic.
that's
I
so.
liked
Yeah.
like how much they like were real with each other, and
Yeah.
it felt like very real best friends, and I really enjoyed that part of it. I know this book is all about romance, but
Uh-huh.
I really liked their dynamic too. And also January and August, like romance is really good with them too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I forgot about that one. I liked it, definitely.
What was yours?
So I am going with The Deal by L. Kennedy. I actually adored the um relationship between Garrett and Hannah. I thought it was great. Like I loved the hate to love relationship. They you like first they hated and then they built like a friendship and then they had their romance and I feel like it was just such a great all around like well-rounded relationship in such a short book.
I agree. It was pretty good too. I need to continue that
Yeah,
series.
I agree. And then the best reread.
So I did. Yeah, I also reread that one this year. I did All You Can Dream of Fanny because I don't talk about that book enough. Fantastic adult book takes place in Oregon about foodie bloggers and found family. That's such a good book.
Yep. And then red, white, and royal blue. Need say I don't need to say anymore. No, no need to say anymore. All right, guys. Well, I am so sorry I have to cut this short, but I hope that you guys enjoyed our award for 2020 and um, more books to come.
Yeah, stay tuned for our live shows for the book club and definitely for more book awards. Leave us comments on your favorite book that you read this year.
Yes, yes. I want to know your least favorite and your favorite.
Yes,
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys had a as good as it could be 2020 and hopefully better year to come.
yes.
All
Thanks for
right.
watching, guys.
Bye.